Hello, Uluscri here. I am going to be making a really quick video, really impromptu, so forgive the audio quality, but I will be ranting and raving about something that I've been doing recently. My wonderful partner and I have been doing a little world building. We have a shared world. I am doing one side, they are doing the other, and we've been doing something fun.
Hi,
They're over there.
I'm in the video. No, you caught me without my antlers. Ah!
And so you will notice that there's some climate related stuff written everywhere. But the real thing that I'm going to be talking about is this human key down here. This little human key. And that is migration lines. Because this is something that I've always been obsessed with, going way back to my old child days of picking up like world history atlas books and seeing all the lines going everywhere, and I was always really fascinated by it. And I think that this is a really fun world building tool to add to your arsenal. Arsenal is not the right word. To add to your toolbox, that's the word. Just as like a potential thing you can do, because it's really fun. So this is the world map, but you'll notice up there that there are also more specific continent maps, because I wanted to add a little bit more detail. There's that guy, and then this guy is underneath. But I just want to show some of the fun things you can do. So you'll notice that, there's a origin symbol, or the human origins were right here in this continent, and then they went spread, and they eventually went up here and did a little bit of a Bering Strait situation where they like crossed over. So they may look like boring little lines, but like these things tell a story. You can already sort of visualize in your head what's going on with these lines. You can see like people were really rushing down this coast because it's really, hospitable maybe. Maybe has a lot of like good, I don't know, resources. And I included little numbers going along here. This is killa years ago, so thousands of years ago. And you see that they entered, the whole hemisphere, really, around 40,000 years before present. And then they migrated down. Migration typically takes a pretty long time, but sometimes it can be a little bit speedy, such as down here, where this was 37,000 years ago, and then this was 36,000. So, it only took them 1,000 years to go all the way over there. To sort of visualize the distances that are going on here, this is about 600 kilometers. For you imperial measurement system lovers, I think that's like 400 miles about. So it's not a small amount of distance. And so that's like, what is that, 800 miles. That's not very scientific at all, but this is vibes. But yeah, you can really tell a story. You see how the people coming from this direction reached here 33,000 years, but these people reached here 36,000 years. So this is like a 3,000 year difference between just these two little areas. You can surmise how that might change certain cultural aspects. The people over here are going to be a lot different from the people over here. Maybe these people didn't invent boats, for a while. And you can sort of see that here with how this migration only happened like 23,000 years ago, which is a full 13,000 years between these two, which is a lot. And yeah, so you get this sort of storytelling that you can have. You have the migration down here, which I tried to make these line up in a fun way, because this is the continent directly below that one. And you can see how they then spread through here. But the really fun thing is that there's a bit of island hopping going on, and then they go back up. Going back to this map, you see that they go up here and they go along these islands. Lots of island hopping going on. And they eventually sort of wrap back around to get back to this continent. And you see that here. This is another thing that I recommend being done, making different scale maps. So you get like the whole world, so you get a very nice look at like what's going on. And then let me not grab all of them. And then you have these smaller, more specific maps where you can really get into the details. I tried to put much more exact year amounts going on here. And you also see something very interesting here where like these people are now going back into this continent. And so you'll get some like cultural clashes going on there. Yeah. A couple of meta ideas for the process. In general, people don't like to migrate over deserts, mountains. They like to follow rivers. They like to follow coastlines. They like to go towards the nice, fertile regions, the regions with a lot of food resources, water. Water is very important for people. And so you see, like, this is a desert. You can see it's a desert because it has a bunch of D's on it, just like all real deserts. So it took, a fair bit longer because people got here 33,000 years ago, and then they only crossed the mountains and then crossed the desert, after another like 5,000 years, which is a fair bit of time. You see bodies of water. It takes them a while to get across like substantive bodies of water, like an ocean. All of these are not rules. These are just things that I've noticed in the real world. Do as you will. You can literally do anything. It doesn't matter. You can make people avoid rivers. Maybe the rivers are lava. I don't know. You see that I listed here major cities at some point in time. And this is a very fun thing because all that I have to do is just put a bunch of like funny dots in places and be like, why was there a city in the middle of the mountains? A major city, no less. So why is that there? And then you start, like brainstorming ideas. There are a lot of major cities, again, near rivers, near coastlines. And you'll notice that like there's a lot of major city symbols that are like right next to each other. And this is why I included the just at some point in time, because fun fact about rivers drift over time. Like, if you look at pictures of insert major river here and like its path over the past like thousands of years, you'll see that it can change drastically. So like this city is not directly next to this river or this city, but maybe at some point in the past this river like veered over here and then went over. And so, you get that sort of movement. Yeah. So that's just a fun thing that you can do. I hope that this was inspiring in a way, or at least brought this to your attention as an idea. This video is made possible by my wonderful patrons. So thanks to Abaletian, Donny the Pony, Unproductiveness, Nick Rosario, Runner Girl Fran, Vert Dirt Runner, and Kadragi. I'm literally doing this off of memory. If I forgot anyone, I will voice them here. Thanks. Oh, and I'm only making this dinky little video because it's been so long since I posted anything. But there is a actual full video coming very soon, so look forward to that. Draw maps and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.